Recently, the Fallout TV show dropped and reignited my Fallout interest a ton. I recently went back and did a revisit video for Fallout 76. If you haven't already, please go check that out. But I figured why not do one for one of my favorite Fallout games ever, Fallout 4, and also a very popular game amongst the Fallout community. And real quick, before we get started, I do want to say thank you so much for you 100+ subscribers that have already subscribed in about a month or so. Beyond my expectations at all, starting a new channel is tough, and I was not expecting even like 10 subscribers yet. So to have over 100 already is amazing. You guys are awesome. It's motivating for me, enjoyable to see you guys enjoying the content and subscribing to come back for more. But let's get back to the Fallout video before I get all sappy and emotional on you guys. And for me, Fallout 3 will always have my top spot for Fallout games, but that doesn't mean 4 is not worthy of being talked about as the greatest. Just something about venturing through a wasteland full of danger just excites me, whether it's Fallout 3, 4, New Vegas, whatever one it is, even 76 at times, but not the most dangerous one I've played. It just never gets old seeing what fun the wasteland has for you around every corner. But believe it or not, it's been almost a decade since Fallout 4 dropped, and since I played it, there was some things I remembered and things I didn't along my journey this time around. I'm very excited to share my experience and opinions about this game with any of you watching this. So let's jump back into the Boston wasteland and find out if Fallout 4 still holds up almost a decade later. Thank you anyone watching this. You are highly appreciated for being here. If you could drop a like on the video and make sure you come join the Snake Pit by hitting that subscribe button, much appreciated. Now back to the video. Compared to Fallout 76 that I previously just revisited, this is how a wasteland is supposed to look, in my opinion. Everything about the Boston wasteland here is just perfect. You got buildings destroyed everywhere. There are some areas of green grass and things like that, but most of the map is just straight deserted. And you even have a radiation field in this map known as the Glowing Sea that locals avoid at all costs because the danger just presents itself and you should not go there at any cost. But of course you end up going there. Spoiler. I personally suggest traveling on foot because that's when Fallout is just at its best. You'll run into a lot of locations to check out while you walk around, which is what this section of the video is about. I've decided to give you some locations that really stood out the most to me, and I'm going to start with the Museum of Witchcraft. I walk into this place through the basement, and then suddenly you're in a horror movie. There are noises coming from upstairs. It makes you like feel scared to move an inch through this house while you're adventuring through the basement. And then when you get upstairs, you're greeted by everybody's favorite Fallout creature, the freaking Deathclaw of all things. And I was way too low of a level for this. And let's just say this thing ended me real quick. And moving off of that, a quick one that I discovered along my wasteland adventure I thought was interesting was a place called the Rocket Shed. I had to look it up afterwards because I've never heard of it before in my entire life and wasn't sure if it was like a special thing or not. It's just this little shed in the middle of nowhere that's filled with like explosive tanks and stuff. Really, it's just neat to see real quick and then of course blow it up. What else would you do? You know what I mean? And another awesome place on the base map is the Halogen Inc. I think I'm saying that correctly. Never discovered this place before. You walk in and everyone is legit going insane in there.
Please evacuate the building.
There's chemicals released all over the building and everyone is fighting everyone in this place. It's pure madness and fun just going through this place. It's just chaos everywhere. It's like a bunch of laughing gas from the Joker that everyone's just like, I don't know, they're just going crazy. And if we're talking locations here, I have to mention the incredible expansions of Nuka World in Far Harbor. I'll start with Nuka World here. When you arrive there, you are not greeted with open arms at all. You're put through this insane gauntlet that had me dying around every corner constantly. Once you somehow make it through that alive, you have to fight a member of the Raiders in this extremely powerful power armor that he has. One of the Raiders helps you, like, prepare for it, and he gives you a water gun. And yes, I said a water gun to fight this guy. That's the goofiness of Fallout that I love, and it's just those kind of vibes that bring me back to Fallout whenever new ones drop, which is never anymore, but Fallout 5, I hope you're around the corner. But anyways, you use this water gun to make his suit malfunction because it's like covered in electricity and stuff like that to give you the opening to kill him. And once you defeat him, kill him, you for some reason become the leader of these people. Was not expecting that at all. But you are so much of a leader actually once you get into the Nuka world that you can walk into the market area, for instance, and just take everything you want. I was about to go in there and go into thief mode real quick, but then realized that I can just willingly take whatever I desire while these people call me boss over and over and over again. It just makes you feel like you run the world, because I mean, you pretty much do run this little area of this map. But once you adventure out of there, Nuka World really hits too. You basically go through one giant Disney World looking amusement park. That's what the base of this map is. I am an amusement park kind of guy, so this world connected with me. You go through all these cool attractions like this Western theme area that I really enjoyed, and then you go through this maze with a giant treehouse in the middle of it, all while the Magic Kingdom looking castle is in the distance. It just has the vibes. But let's move on from Nuka World, because I could droll over these expansions all day and I think they're done perfectly. And transitioning over to Far Harbor, the other expansion, you are given this missing persons case on the main map by a child's parents. Also love detector / mystery stuff, so this was up my alley already. I was very intrigued by this. You find out the daughter ran away because the synths were in contact with her through her little radio thing and convinced her that she's not actually their daughter and she's a synth. So you jump on a boat and you head to Far Harbor, and I was extremely wowed by this because another thing I'm really interested in is horror. So this was right up my alley as well. So I was enjoying the hell out of these expansion packs. You arrive in this world and it is also completely different from Nuka World. This place is dark, foggy, eerie, threatening, constantly. You help this little town that you arrive at fight off some creatures known as gulpers, and then you're off to find the missing daughter. I explored every inch of this map because I loved every second of the vibe here. This location just nails that mysterious, tense atmosphere, and there are so many deadly creatures that are new to the game that will make your playthrough a living hell, if I'm being quite honest with you. Even the synth base that you find is great. I enjoyed it. You discover the robot guy, I forget his name. He's pretty cool looking, and they're just like there's a whole mystery vibe going on here. I'm not going to go on about the story of this. Everything in just both of these expansions is done really well. There's just plenty of fun locations in this game to check out. I couldn't recommend them enough. But before I spoil too much about the creatures in these worlds, let me move into the enemies section of this video. The creatures and enemies are really what makes Fallout so special in our eyes. Everything in Fallout is out to get you, and Fallout 4 is no different than the past ones. As always, you have your typical Fallout enemies. You have rad roaches, you have ghouls, the mongrels / wild dogs, super mutants, and the Wasteland's most common enemy, I would say, the raiders. And thanks to mods, I was able to fight some geckos in the map and the praying mantises here and there, just like Fallout Vegas. So I was able to sprinkle in a little bit of Vegas vibes in here. You also get the enemies from Far Harbor to give you the expanded experience to the base game. I really struggled beating the Gulpers that I mentioned a little bit earlier at the beginning of the Far Harbor story map. They are a very tough enemy. If you don't know what you're doing, they will rip you apart if you fall down there, or in my situation, it was kind of glitching out, so I had to jump down there to get them to come out at one point, and they just slaughtered me. So they were tough, and they also have those glowy light head ones too. Those things are also killers. But anyways, as you explore Far Harbor, you come across hunters and wolves as the common enemies. The hunter's actually pretty cool. They're like a little bit cooler version, a little bit more difficult version of the raiders in my opinion. And eventually you could come across a fog crawler, and they are not to be messed with in any way, shape, or form. I was very happy to say that with a little help, I defeated one somehow, but the first couple attempts did not go very well for me. And outside of Far Harbor, let's venture over to Nuka World. We'll go backwards here. You'll discover ant swarms over there, and these cool like bloodworm things in the western part of the area that I brought up earlier. They burrow under the ground. They're a different kind of enemy. I thought they were pretty neat. They were just different. I don't know. They were popping up, scaring the hell out of me at random points. They just always keep you on your toes while you're going through that area, scavenging stuff. And you know what? This is my video, and I want to make it how I want for you guys. So I'm going to sprinkle in a little top 5 real quick for reference for you guys. I'm going to go through my top 5 enemies that I think you guys should mess around with in this game that I think are fun. And to start off, I'm sure you noticed already that I did not mention the famous Death Claws much in this video, and that's because I saved it for this top 5, because as always, Death Claws are awesome. I will say I enjoyed the Death Claws a little bit more in New Vegas and Fallout 3. They felt like the top of the food chain as far as enemies go. Here, not quite. They felt a little bit more beatable in this game than they do in the other ones. But there's also other big hitters in this game, so it's not a problem at all. I'm just pointing that out. Death Claws are still going to tear you apart if you're not the proper level, as you can see here. Death Claws are just a classic Fallout challenge that I'll always enjoy, and the pure terror that goes through your body when you see one in the distance is just something you gotta experience for yourself. And speaking of that terror feeling whenever you come across something in the distance, that's exactly what I felt when I was adventuring through Nuka World for the next enemy on this list, and that is the Gator Claws, which I was not expecting at all when I was adventuring through this amusement park, that they have alligator versions of the Death Claws, because that's what they are to my knowledge. This could be in my head, I don't know, because I just felt like they were very quick, and they were just deadlier versions of Death Claws. This could be me just panicking and freaking out because I've never seen them before, but I just felt like they were a lot more all over you than the Death Claws were. I don't know, all I know is these things had me running all over this amusement park, running for my life, and it was an absolute blast. And also, while we're talking Nuka World, let's move on to my third enemy. Not quite in Nuka World, but I discovered this enemy for the first time on my way to Nuka World, and that enemy is Assaultrons. These guys are very scary when they come at you. Let's just put it that way. You can't even run from these guys because they'll just tail you the whole time, and they will not lose very much ground while tailing you. They just pursue you relentlessly at all times. Had me laughing my ass off while I'm trying to get some space between them to try to shoot them, and they just wouldn't let up. And then I finally blew one up, and it got even creepier, and this happened. There's just no getting away from these guys. They're ruthless, and they just keep coming at you until their health is at 0, so make sure you kill them. You don't just kill them whenever they lose their legs. And coming off the Assaultrons, let's go to my second one. These are in no particular order, by the way. I forgot to say that. These are just like my top 5 overall. But the next one is a personal favorite of mine. That is the Mirelurk Queen. I think that's how you say Mirelurk. I always want to say Mirrorlurk, but I think it's Mirelurk. I can't believe that this is something that completely slipped my mind as far as the Mirelurk Queen goes, because I had an epic battle with this thing back in 2015 when this game dropped, I was level like 3 or 4, something that should not be messing with the Mirelurk Queen. It took my brother and I hours to beat it, game planning strategies to take it down because we just could not succeed because, you know, we're supposed to not be there at that level and we just couldn't let it go until we beat it. We eventually did kill it though, and it was a very memorable moment for me that I just can't believe it slipped my mind going into this game. This time around though, I'm over here killing all these eggs and hatchlings everywhere, ready to check out this bunker and fort because I completely forgot about the queen. And then I'm just mind blown whenever I'm suddenly reminded the hard way about her. This thing emerges like effing Godzilla and immediately comes out offended as hell that you just evaporated all her little babies off the face of the earth. She starts spraying her acid across the entire fort. She doesn't have any range on this bitch. It'll melt your health away so freaking quick, so you better avoid it. I did not struggle as much killing her this time as I did a decade ago. It did take me a few attempts, but it's not like it took me a couple hours, which is good. It also took a mini nuke to defeat her as well, I will admit. It's just a blast to dodge and weave your way around her acid while you're attacking her from a distance, and then her babies are attacking you. There's just a lot going on here, and it's a lot of fun. At least this specific fight with her. I recommend this specific battle with this Mirelurk Queen. If you haven't already, definitely go check it out. And we move on to last but certainly not least at all, and that is the Suicide Super Mutants. This isn't going to be too long of a talk because there's not much to really dive into as far as they go, because they literally do one thing. But I had to mention these suicidal super mutants only because they had me laughing out loud like a psycho while playing this game. You're in the middle of fighting a pack of these super mutants, and then you'll notice one of them is a suicide one, and then you're instantly like, oh god, I gotta get out of here ASAP. And then blam, you are dead as dead gets. But hey, you could always try Dogmeat's approach and just push them like it's Call of Duty or something. Dogmeat, not your brightest moment. A little bit of an idiotic move there, attacking the Suicide Super Mutants, but might honestly be my favorite moment of the entire game that I just showed you. These dudes just had me cracking up at all times like I was a kid again, and I'm always down for some genuine fun. And Super Mutants on Suicide Notice will give you that fun and laughter in this game, I promise. Alright, so as far as characters go in this game, I must start with, I just hate how dumbed down this game is with the RPG elements. I wouldn't be able to make it through this review without mentioning that. The RPG elements are just not here like they were in previous Fallout installments. It sucks because it makes conversations with the NPCs nowhere near as intriguing, and it also makes the characters not as memorable, so that's why I'm bringing that up in this section. But I will start with the first follower option you get, and that is Codsworth. I did not play with him much this time around because I played with him a lot in the original Go in 2015 that I had with this game. I was just trying to explore options for you guys for this review so I can get around and check out different followers. He's not the most exciting follower anyways. He does have a chainsaw, like saw arm thing, and a flamethrower, which is pretty cool, I guess, and he's capable of seeing enemies that are invisible, but honestly, you don't really come across invisible enemies very much to really have him around for that. And then moving on next is Piper, the nosy reporter that you meet on your way to Diamond City as you get there. She's the same story as Codsworth with me. I used her a lot in my first go, so I gave her a little bit of a rest here. I used her for a tiny bit. To my knowledge, the only thing special really that she brings to the table is like some bonus XP for convincing people in dialogue. She enjoys that sneaky, devious stuff that you do while you play because she's kind of like that as a reporter. That's why I liked her so much on my first go, because that's the kind of player I am in these games. And then next, good old reliable Nick Valentine. Oh, where would I have gotten without this man? Or robot, whatever the hell he is. I mean, come on now, look at this fella right here.
Say what you wanna say to me now.
Why is he such a saint, you might ask? Well, Nick saved me from the terminal hell that this game drops on you from time to time. Hacking terminals led to some frustrations while playing through this game, I must say. And thank God for Nick for being there for me just to take care of those like a true hero. Dude literally saved me from quitting on a few missions, and that is not a lie at all. He really did. He got me through some terminals that I either didn't have the high ability to do yet, even attempt it, or I just couldn't figure it out. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go get Nick, and he could bail me out of this situation. And on to another favorite follower of mine, and I feel like a lot of people's favorite, is Dogmeat, because he's just a German Shepherd, and if you're a dog lover, or a German Shepherd lover like I am, you're just going to love Dogmeat, because he's just awesome. I did use the mod that lets you keep Dogmeat around with you while having another follower. It's just nice because he's a dog that can't speak, and I like having him around, and he's just awesome as a companion. But also, I needed that added dialogue from the companions that you can have that can speak, so I just wanted that mod so they could both be around at all times. Dogmeat does have a feature outside of being caring and adorable, I promise.
Initiating brainwave migration between the transplant and the host. Mnemonic activity coming from the transplant. It's degenerated, but it's there.
He will use his German Shepherd powers and find items in the world, which is very useful, except when he drops my flamethrower into the earth. After killing that Mirelurk queen, after all that time, that was my reward, and then he dropped it into the face of the earth, and I never got it. Although he dropped my flamethrower, I forgived him real quick at a couple points in this game when he came in clutch, finding me a ton of fusion cores, and he just made me the happiest person on earth when I opened those containers and saw those beautiful fusion cores just waiting for me to snatch. Dogmeat also does more than just find things. He assists you in combat, obviously. It actually can be quite effective in certain situations. He'll go up and just pull their arm down while you're in the middle of getting hosed, and it gives you a few seconds to regather yourself and turn around and fire away. It is pretty useful. And speaking of combat as far as followers go, that goes on to the Brother of Steel follower, Paladin Dance, next. Not much to say about him. He's just a straight badass. He will just charge into combat and actually put in like actual work here. He's probably one of the most powerful companions that you can have, because this game is more action-based than RPG, like I touched on earlier, and he is just meant for this game. He will go in with unlimited power armor, which I feel is very unfair. This man just has unlimited fusion cores or something going on there, and he will just start smashing people and taking names. And those are the main companions I know a good bit about. There are some other ones, obviously. There's plenty of them, actually, like Preston Garvey, for instance, who's a good dude that you find your first settlement with. You rescue them from a town, and then you start your own little settlement with them. And then you got Strong, who's a super mutant that I've heard from other people that he is absolutely hilarious to adventure around with. I actually tried to get him, but I had some kind of glitch in my game that wouldn't let me take him with me for some reason. I tried to figure it out, and I couldn't. I was really looking forward to doing that, so I was a little disappointed that I couldn't take him with me. And then Kate, whatever her name is, who I briefly played with, and I didn't find her to be very special at all. So there are some misses as far as the followers go. A lot of them are pretty good, though. So I went back and stuck with my good old stud, Nick Valentine, most of the time.
Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning.
And Deacon. Oh, shit. Deacon. He could be a follower? Oh. Whoops. Alright, gameplay and visuals. Let's start with some graphics here real quick. They can honestly, for being from 2015, look pretty breathtaking at times. Some of it is from mods, and some of them are not, because I switched them on and off to check it out, and honestly, the game didn't even look as crazy good with the mods as I thought. I don't know if it's because of the next-gen update that they just released or not, but the base game looks pretty solid for being 9 years old if I had to give an opinion, which is what I'm doing right now. Although the visuals aren't 100% amazing, you still get a decent bit of glitches here and there, and things just warping, and character models don't look great at all times. I think we know how Bethesda is with character models. They can look really, really shitty at times. But in my 40 to 50 hours of playing this for the review, I did have a few crashes. I think 3 to be exact. For me, that's not terrible, but also a game that is almost a decade old. It shouldn't crash at all. Sometimes the lighting alone just hits different for this game and is gorgeous to just take in and immerse yourself. The winter mod for me was just a small portion of my playthrough because I am an immersion guy and I like to feel like I'm living it while I'm playing it. And it just gave me that feel like the seasons were passing and time was passing. So I thought it was cool. And going along with mods, the Storm mod is also a game changer. And I think mods are fair to talk about at this point because anybody could put them on their game. So I feel like it is part of the game. So I am including it in this little retrospective that we're doing here. But yeah, Storm mod, game changer. Makes the world feel very, very dangerous. Even though it doesn't have any direct impact on you other than the radiation storms that are absolutely incredible. These giant radiation storms just take over the map, and to me, that is what Fallout should be. You should have stuff like that. I just found myself looking in awe at these things. And also with the storms, I am a stickler for good looking fog, and this game does that too. And I don't know if it's mods or the next gen update as well, but the blood can be gruesome in this game, and I'm here for it. You just blow through a bunch of enemies, blast your way through this wasteland, and you got blood flying out every direction. You got it laying all over whatever surface you kill these people on. The blood is there. It's not quite like Gears of War level, but it's definitely pretty gruesome. But enough about the graphics and the visuals. Let's move over to some gameplay mechanics, and I will start with the Pip-Boy. I don't think that the Pip-Boy is done well in this game as far as the map goes. The map on Fallout 76 got it right. I like the idea of the map being on the Pip-Boy, but this crap just does not look good. It looks like trash in my opinion. Yeah, I don't know. The Pip-Boy could have just done better in my opinion, but let's transition over into actual gameplay stuff. As we got gun gameplay, in my opinion, maybe the best it's ever been. I personally think as far as guns go, I think it is the best it's ever been because it had to be in this game because this game is very action oriented, like I said earlier. But at least Fallout 4 does it right here if you're going to make it action oriented. Shooting things is fun. Weapons in this game are everything you could ask for. You got your normal guns like pistols, shotguns, rifles, and then you got those guns that Fallout takes to a Fallout level. You got miniguns, laser rifles, and pistols, the junk jet, and of course, everyone's favorite, my favorite for sure, the Fat Boy / mini nukes. And going along with the Fat Boy and the mini nukes, explosions look really good for a decade-old game, I must say. They absolutely look incredible, actually. And for some reason, things just like to explode in this game. I found it commonly happening all the time. And going along with explosions and guns, sound design is also amazing. You'll feel these explosions in the base of your speakers. It'll make you feel like you're there. Some of my favorite Fallout moments, though, are when a bunch of people are fighting and things are just blowing up all over the place. It just shows that the wasteland has no forgiveness and everything is out to kill each other, and these moments just do it for me in this game. Quick example, you're just running around and then you start fighting with the Brotherhood of Steel against wasteland enemies. You got mutants fighting these Brotherhood people, and then you're trying to fight off a Deathclaw while trying to help them fight off these mutants. And the whole thing just turns into insanely fun, just pure chaos, and I'm there for it. Outside of the fun free roaming that Bethesda gives us in these kind of games, the freedom of choice is also something that Bethesda does really well. You could choose to join whatever settlement group you want. You can play it through it stealthily, You can run around like a psychopath, or you can do what I did and take out one of the Brotherhood members with a mini nuke after teaming up with him to kill the Deathclaw that I was just talking about, just so you can steal his power armor.
What was that?
I found myself having so much of a blast in the Commonwealth that I really struggled to stay focused on the story, and I know I'm not alone as far as that goes. This game is very distracting, and also I just don't find the main story to be all that interesting. The beginning of it, your character watches their significant other get killed in the vault, and then her baby is kidnapped. I play it as Lucy from the TV show in this instance, so I am a she. Which, don't get me wrong, that is all crazy to start a story with, but it just doesn't really capture your attention in the longevity of this game. It's just the world of Fallout is just so full of distractions, and they're all fun, awesome distractions. It's not like they're little petty stuff. It's just not long before you forget that your child is even missing, and you want to just start terrorizing this world as it terrorizes you, and your kid just becomes a distant memory that you don't care about anymore. Best example I have for you of this is just going to kill the Sith leader Kellogg that you think is the Sith leader. He has some info about your son's kidnapping. It's an important part of the story that I was into, but once I started focusing on the story here, I rediscovered that epic Brotherhood of Steel entrance they make after you get out of this building. And then after seeing this, I'm like, well, I just gotta go visit them and join them now, right? I mean, that's what I did on my first playthrough. I definitely remember doing that, and I wanted to do it again here, so that's what I did. You just end up jumping down one big rabbit hole of side quests that are mostly fun, and you just can't stop. It's like an addiction. And then I joined the Brotherhood and realized after joining the Brotherhood, I got away with murder earlier with one of those Brotherhood members in that Deathclaw situation, and I realized that I could have just waited and joined them to get power armor instead of killing this guy in cold blood. But oh well, no one needs to know in the Brotherhood that I got away with murder and killed this poor guy as he lost his life to my greed for power. On the subject of power armor in this game, it gets mixed feelings from me. Obviously, it's very powerful and I love fighting in it. Fusion cores are fun to go around and try to find and keep stocked so you can go around in the power armor and do your thing. But I'm a little sour that you get the power armor almost instantly in this game. I just feel like there could have been a better build up to it. I don't know, it just didn't hit on the power armor level for me, since you literally get it like 10 minutes into the free roaming in this world. Quick funny side note with the power armor, because I explored a lot in it. I just thought it was hilarious that, and also awesome, that the power armor sinks to the bottom of the water. This shit had me panicking and cracking up in the moment. As soon as I sank, I was like, whoa, 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 how am I getting out of here, man? I'm about to lose my power armor to the bottom of this water. But luckily I got out. It was just one of those moments that was really fun in the world of Fallout. But as far as my playstyle goes, I will say I am a no good rotten thief when it comes to Bethesda games, all of them. And I steal everyone's shit at every moment that I can, constantly. And in this game, it's no different. You could steal or loot whatever your heart desires. Always a big part of Bethesda games. And I can't help myself in these games. You just go through and you want everybody's stuff. And once you steal or loot whatever you want, you can of course barter with merchants all across the Commonwealth. Sell or buy whatever they have on hand. Even though their prices are absurd and they'll straight rip you off, which makes you want to kill them in the game. But that's why I don't kill them. I just steal everybody's stuff instead. That's my little way of getting payback on these scumbag merchants. I did admittedly buy stuff on a few occasions this time around. I didn't at all on my first playthrough, I'm pretty sure. I just went through and stole everything. But I'm talking mainly just ammo and meds here, because it is required if you want to get through this action-oriented game all the way through. But overall, this game just never runs out of things to do. The gameplay is fun, the gunplay is fun. You just have quests to do all the time, or just BS in the Commonwealth. You'll just never ever be bored adventuring around here. Fun awaits you around every corner exploring this game. It's as simple as that. So look, I know this game isn't considered terrible by anybody, at least not most people, but I also know that Fallout 4 does get plenty of mixed reactions from people as far as being great, and isn't well loved by everybody, and that's okay. I respect your opinion. You have a right to that. But after playing through Fallout 4 again in 2024, I must say I think you should go and try it again with an open mind if you're not too fond of this game. Going in, just expect it to be more of an exploring, action-y kind of game than an RPG. The game delivers on the action and the gun gameplay. It's all smooth, it's all great, plenty of enemy variety to keep you interested for plenty of hours, plus so many intriguing locations to discover as we went over. My negatives are, of course, the dialogue and the RPG elements. I get that stuff. On top of that, the story isn't the most interesting thing you'll play in your entire life as far as video games go, but in my opinion, the fun side quests make up for it. So there's a good balance there. And there are still some glitches and crashes along the way, which keeps this game from being a 10 out of 10 in my eyes, so don't go in expecting a 10 out of 10 masterpiece either. But for me, Fallout 4 is still an 8 out of 10 experience. I highly recommend it. Go play this over Fallout 76. That game is just average in my opinion still. I know people disagree with me with that, but I still have a sour taste in my mouth over that game, I guess. I just don't see it when I walk around Fallout 76. I even played it more after my revisit video, and it still just wasn't clicking for me. I promise you, you'll find plenty of fun in this game over that one, and you will not be able to put your controller down for hours at a time at certain points of this game. But that's really all I have to say about Fallout 4. If you're jumping back into Fallout 4 in 2024, let me know in the comments what you think of it. I've said my piece, and if you enjoyed my thoughts, drop a like on this video, and of course, don't forget to come join the Snake Pit by hitting that subscribe button like you guys have been doing all the last month or so, and I highly, highly appreciate it. There's plenty of reviews coming your way, retrospectives like this, every single week on Friday, 4 o'clock Eastern Time. Reviews, retrospectives, whatever's on the table for that week will be coming your way. But with that being said, I hope you have a great rest of your day. That is going to be it for me with this one. I'll see you in the next one. See ya.
Are you finished wasting my time, you filthy low-life scabber? Cause I'm getting bored, and when I get bored, I get violent.
What the fuck did you just say?